Good morning, curling fans from Leduc, Alberta. This is the Curling Stadium Alberta Curling Series Major. My name is Sean Murray. With me again, as yesterday, is Martin Go. And this morning, we're bringing to you seaside action from Leduc, Alberta. Our feature game is USA's Korey Dropkin versus Mike McEwen. We're coming to you. First end is most ways complete. McEwen throwing yellow. Sitting shot.
Yeah, thanks for having me this morning, Sean. Looking forward to this game. I had a chance to check out some of the teams that I wasn't familiar with, and so this morning seeing some well-known names in curling. Dropkin may not quite be as known on the world level. I'm not sure. I mean, he's been out there on tour for sure, making some noise, but in the States here, he's very well known.
Yeah, definitely a top flight American team. Yeah, Dropkin is actually ranked number 15 in the world, Mark, and they have already qualified for the first Grand Slam event. So it's still a pretty young team. I mean, their team name, brand, hashtag, whatever you will, is the Young Bucks, and they're definitely starting to make their mark on the international circuit. Definitely making some noise, and these guys have a big future ahead of them.
Yeah, absolutely, and as great as Joe Polo was for this team, I expect big things with Sapir stepping in at the very important vice role for this team.
Absolutely. Yeah, Joe Polo, longtime second stone thrower for Pete Fenson, played third for this team for a few years, and this season decided to step back and focus a little more on family. So they brought in Andrew Stapera, who's a junior U.S. champion in his own right. He now takes over the third spot. So Korey delivering his first of this first end. Looking at a couple of yellow McEwen stones in there. He's got the hammer trying to make a good roll inside here. Ooh. Hard to do better than that.
Yeah, I was worried it might poke out a little bit too far on the other side, but looking from the kind of straight on cam, looks to be pretty well covered. I mean, it's a bit wired, but I mean, can't ask for a better result, honestly, there.
Absolutely not. Yeah, the run back is really Mike's only shot. As we said, these are we're down to only the this and three other C event games left. These teams have already all taken 2 losses. Winner of this game will play the winner of Carson Sturmey versus Reed Carruthers later on this afternoon. The other 2 C games are Jack Gauthier versus Rylan Kleider and Tanner Horgan versus Kyler Kleibrink. They have 2 of those 8 teams will make it through into the playoffs. Pretty good from McEwen. Makes a run back, kills the shot stone, doesn't stick it. Still a really nice shot.
Yep. Yeah.
So
tough C event here. Jeez, you got teams like Dropkin and McEwen down here.
Oh, it's definitely a death march at any of these tour events. It's really a grind once you get to the C. You end up starting to play back-to-back games, and not everybody wins every day, so you usually have to beat at least a couple of really top-flight teams to get through. But that's part of the reason you play these events, is to get used to playing multiple games in a day, sometimes back-to-back, because it gets your body in shape for the grind of the tour season. And no mistake on the blank from Korey Dropkin. So No score. Dropkin will keep the hammer. And we'll have the second end for you right after this.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they stay there.
And back for the second end. And this is the Curling Stadium Alberta Curling Series Major. This is a C event semifinal game between USA's Korey Dropkin and New Look Mike McEwen team playing out of Ontario this year. Got around 170 viewers watching us this morning. Thanks for spending your Sunday morning with us, everyone. My name is Sean Murray. I'm joined by Mark Go. First end was a blank. Very nice executed hit and roll. Forced a tough shot from Mike McEwen. Left the opportunity for the blank. So to start this end, McEwen throws up the center. Dropkin's lead. Tom Howell goes right around. McEwen brings another one in. Sits shot kind of back corner of the button.
Yeah, it's great to see we got so many people watching this morning. You know, people in the chat, feel free to chime in from wherever you're watching. We always see Megan in the chat. Is with us as always, so always appreciate seeing a familiar name in the chat.
I see Mr. Siggins is watching this morning. Good morning, Mr. Siggins. Good to see you. Quick shout out to Megan Edwards for running a group on Facebook called Rockheads. Always appreciate the enthusiasm for curling we see on the social media feeds. Mission everywhere is to grow the game. That's why groups like that happen. That's why we do this. Just trying to grow the game.
Looked like it was pretty close there on this recent effort, but with that stagger, it's just asking to be ripped here at this point.
Yeah, I don't. It's a little early. We're only in second stones.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to throw weight at this. You're just going to try to at least move one back. The key here is to leave your shooter in the center.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be rolling off at all.
So as mentioned in the first end, you know, with Dropkin's team update with new Vice here, McEwen's, you know, seeing the same thing with Ryan Fry stepping into this role. Shiny, you have any thoughts about the Ryan stepping into this role and his fit on the team?
No, I mean, well, Ryan's been around the game for long time. He's played played a number of years with Jeff Stoughton in Manitoba, and obviously won the gold medal with the Brad Jacobs team out of Northern Ontario. So, really, really great player. Obviously, new team. There's going to be a little bit of dynamic things to figure out, but Mike and Ryan have been around the game and playing for long enough that I don't think it's going to take them long to figure it out. And, then you've got a guy like Brent Lang on the front end, who again has been around the game for a really long time. So, the player on that team that I'm least familiar with is definitely Johnson. I've seen the name. I can't really say I recognize him all that well. So, but again, this is pretty solid lineup from what I've seen. I've seen them play, and they've got only an event or two in so far, but I expect they'll be a contender pretty much everywhere they go.
Yeah, with all these, new teams forming for this quad, you're looking up and down these lineups, and it's pretty impressive. A couple more people checking in on the chat here. Looks like we've got is it Mickey from Sweden? Oh, that's great to have some European representation in the chat. Elizabeth from Cape Harbor.
Up to about 220 now watching. We're drawing quite a crowd this morning. Thanks for joining us, everyone. So McEwen looking to make some noise on those reds. I don't know if it's lined up to get rid of both. They can definitely get rid of one. Kind of keep the middle clogged.
Does get rid of one. It's got some. Red's kind of in a tricky spot there, but it looks like with a little bit of a stagger, it's not too bad. But
yeah, it's a little bit more congested than Korey would like, I'm sure.
Yeah, so
definitely needs to clear up the middle a little bit. You can make this double and make the double roll the shooter to the left as we're looking at it, but it's talking about it rolling the other way too.
Yep.
This is second Mark Fenner.
Just over the top of the red.
That's
pretty good result.
Pretty nice shot. That's pretty much just what they were drawing up. Or he's trying to move action sort of away from the center, but Mike wants to draw it back towards the center, so he's going to look for a hit and roll back towards the middle.
A few more people chiming in on our YouTube chat. Got Lisa from Finland, Matthew from Wisconsin. Oh, and Steffi Seneker's chiming in.
Snakers, good morning. Good to see you. So that shot there from Team McEwen rolling a little further than they wanted. This is going to give Dropkin the chance to hit and roll even further away. Try and sort of bring that stone that's almost on the bumpers sort of into the field of view. Momentary technical difficulties on our end. We're having a couple of issues with our video here, so just bear with us, folks. Appreciate your patience. Karen in the chat has mentioned that Jonathan Buke was the vice and part of the Scott McDonald team that I think they won the Ontario
That's a group.
men's, I believe. Yeah, I don't think they won the Brier, but I remember that team. Okay, that sounds about right. Thank you for that bit of info.
Yeah, McDonald was fun to watch for sure.
Yeah, still just working out a couple of technical difficulties on our end, and I think we just got them straightened out here. So we got the video back here. Appreciate the hard work of our production team who makes stuff happen behind the scenes. So as it happens, we missed a couple of shots on our end. You saw everything happen out there, but looks like we're coming down to another blank here. So as we said a little bit earlier, these are C event semifinal games. These are the last few teams that are still alive for playoff spots. We've got 4 games going on. And this is Mike McEwen versus Korey Dropkin. The winner of this game will play the winner of the Reed Carruthers Carson Sturmey game for in a C qualifier match. Winner of that will get to the playoffs. Another 4 teams playing. You got Jacques Gauthier playing Rylan Kleider and Tanner Horgan playing Kyler Kleibrink. Excuse me. Winners of those 2 games will face off in the other C qualifier game later this afternoon.
Hit, trying to sneak under that corner a little bit. Well, this rolls out.
Yeah, it's worth trying because if you can
Oh,
ever roll and just nibble a little bit of the house, you can actually get a force out of it. But just rolls off under the bumper, so Dropkin will have a throw through for another blank. Korey is a very patient skip. Kind of belies his age. You know, he will blank all day long as he holds the hammer. He'll wait for the right moment before using it in the way he wants to. So going to school a little bit, take a look at a line that he hasn't seen. Just banking that away for future use. So another blank end. Still a scoreless game. At the third end, Dropkin will keep the hammer. We'll have that for you when we come back right after this.
I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they stay there.
All right, back for the third end between Korey Dropkin and Mike McEwen. Still no score. There's a couple of blank ends. Dropkin waiting for the right opportunity. Not surprising. Game is a little bit on the defensive side. It is an elimination game. These teams don't want to go home with nothing. So we'll see when they start to mix it up.
Yeah, I think these teams are very respectful of each other, very aware of each team, and no one wants to make the first mistake here.
So center guard is just a touch off center, and that come around from Tom Howell goes to the back of the forefoot, not quite where he wanted it. So see how things shape out in this end. McEwen going to establish a proper center guard this time. I think they'd really like to force Dropkin to take one. So looking for the come around. Keep this one in front of the T line for sure.
Yeah, we're looking maybe top, I guess top 4 here.
Yeah, top 4 or even just top 8 is fine too.
Yeah,
pretty good. Tom will like that much better than his first effort. Trying to get this one to it. Ooh.
Oh, that is, well, not a great outcome there, because, you know, if you're heavy, you think you maybe at least come to the back, but ticking off and rolling away is very good here.
Pushing that Dropkin rock further buried. And looking to roll away here. You know, some might say, well, why not roll under the guard? You're going to have 3 under the guard. Well, yeah, you might, but you rolled under, that thing's going to be directly behind the pinhole. And this team with hammer, that is the last place on earth you want a stone. It's better to roll out than to roll behind the button in this case.
Late sweep to get it come down and hit it thick, but just a hair thin, and we'll end up rolling out here.
Yeah, that's really not a bad outcome. Again, you prefer to do that than to either nose it or worse yet, roll inside. You got to be sure you're rolling away.
A little bit of discussion here. I thought Mike was going to go ahead and run that yellow back, but are they considering maybe freezing again or coming down to it?
It looks like Looks like his team was talking about maybe freezing to the back one instead. And I can understand their point of view. You play the run backs, you're probably going to start. You're going to give Dropkin a chance to maybe blank again. And they really, really want to force this end. That's why you threw 2 guards. So we got the 2 guards. I might as well use them.
Yeah.
Let's get one in there in the control spot. Say, you know, top 8, something we can tap up or do something with later.
Guard just nicely. See if we can get to the corner of this top red.
That's just about perfect.
Pretty nice. Didn't bounce off and to the open. I couldn't ask for much better than that.
Oh, that's a really well placed drop. Not really much Korey can do with that. So he might be well advised to maybe start dealing with these guards now. Because as much as McEwen wants to force him to one, Korey does not want to be forced to one.
Looking for Mark for this double peel here.
Might have just the top one, a little thin.
Yeah, a little thin. Yeah, a couple options on this shot. Looks like they looked at swinging it around again. I don't know if you can ever take the out turn to maybe get to the inside corner and maybe chisel it just a little bit. But
you could. I don't really know if you want to. That angle on the yellow red in the middle is so good. You could probably rather not really disturb that right now.
yeah.
Fry going to come down and they're going to have a talk about what to do right now.
While I talk about that shot, I see in YouTube we've got over 300 people watching. It's awesome. Watching this draw 9.
Yeah. Good morning. Oh, Rich Harmer, master photographer, checking in from Thailand. I can't believe I almost said Thailand. I don't think I slept enough. Morning, Rich. Good to see you. I'm sure it's. I don't even know what time it is.
What
there.
time it is? Yeah.
It's got to be like nighttime over there. Give a shout out to Rich Harmer. He's also a partner in this curling stadium venture. Takes care of a lot of the IT stuff behind the scenes, servers and things like that. Thanks for that, Rich. Much appreciated. So after some discussion, looks like they are going to go ahead and make a play on this overlap combo. Try to push. I'm gonna try to get rid of this one, red.
Yeah. Was that just thinner than they wanted, or more weight than they probably needed for that?
They didn't really. They didn't really hit very much of that. I'm sure they were trying to get rid of the red, so
Yeah.
I think the weight was right, but I think they just hit less of it than they wanted to. But they also wanted to save their stone in the rings for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Because that would give them a chance to force. But now a chance for Andrews to pair to a quiet wait. Get to the nose. might be able to get just a tiny bit inside.
Yeah.
Certainly don't want to jam it buried behind the guard, though.
This is going to be take a lot of good team communication to execute this shot here.
It's close.
A little bit of a late sweep there. And switch.
Very nice.
That's well executed.
That was an excellent team shot. Well thrown, well swept, well communicated. Those shots are not easy. And you really don't have much room for error.
So Sean, I don't know if you got a chance to see any updates from World Curling overnight, but it looks like there's been a few new provisional members.
Oh, really? I did not see.
Yeah. So just looking at the World Curling Twitter, I can see Curling Jamaica has been approved by a provisional member, which is, I mean, that's awesome, right?
That's really cool.
We're getting expansion to non-traditional curling areas. Polish Federation of Curling Clubs. I know there was some issue with, over in Poland. I've heard that be a conversation in some of the curling podcasts out there. So. Yeah, there's I think Rocks Across the Pond, they have a episode that goes a little bit more to details about the Polish Curling Federation, but it essentially allows the old one was previously expelled, and now this allows them to join as essentially a regular member here.
Yeah, I do remember reading that there was, I don't know all the details, but there was some serious corruption going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. Also, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Thailand has been approved by conditional members of the World Curling Federation. So
excellent.
And, yeah,
and I know of a couple of people that are helping develop curling teams that are based out of Kenya.
Yep.
I know a guy that's been working on that is a curling friend of mine from out east, Dean Roth. He's been working on trying to help get the Kenyan team's ice time, because there's obviously not much in the way of ice rinks in Kenya. But that's really cool to see. The game is just growing all over the place. It's wonderful to see all these new nations, new players. And I also think before that, Dean was also a part of helping the Ukrainian teams in some respect. So, what's going on in our game here? Dropkin team putting some pressure on Team McEwen. They've got two in there.
Yeah, I'm just watching. They're actually falling.
Probably would like to have buried that first one just a little more, but
yeah,
this still a double here. But once again, really forcing McEwen to make some good shots.
Yeah.
To not give up the deuce.
Well, even if it's made here, right, then Korey's got a blank and kind of reset, but
exactly,
still taking charge of or dictating the game early on.
Well, even if this is made, I think Korey still has both of his rocks left, so he could go around the center and try and force a mistake that way. But yeah, I would say it's not a huge advantage for either team so far, but just because Korey's been able to take the bank and control things more or less, and a slight edge to them.
Oh, made and just.
Ooh, I don't know.
Ooh, I thought that was out, but now looking at it, I think it's stopped in time, so he can sink one behind.
Yeah, that actually came up just a little too much. They hit more than they wanted to of that top stone, and it jammed it just enough to stay. Now you could go under the guard if you wanted to, but
Or
you
you
don't
could
really need to. You could just split the rings.
Yeah, draw open. Yeah.
Even if I just hit that, I'll be able to throw apart.
So it looks like they're.
Now I gotta
I would expect that that Korey probably wants to go under the guard, but not fully bury. I think if he just buries half of it, then you may see McEwen just hit the open one.
Just
concede
hit
the
the
two.
open one. Yeah. Yeah, because you can't ever freeze right on top because you just bring 3 into play if it's not made.
Oh, you're never playing a freeze. That's
Yeah.
that's way too risky for very little reward.
Plenty of room here. Sweepers don't seem to be concerned about weight, but
Yeah, weight's not an issue. You know this will be really close.
well done there.
Just a nibble of the top 4. Mostly buried, but it really forces the hand of McEwen. Like,
Yeah.
what do I do here? If I can hit the open one and just concede a really easy 2.
Yeah.
But anything else that he tries does bring 3 into play.
Yep. Yeah, I think they're maybe looking at this. Oh gosh, the slash here because you don't. Yeah, I mean that's tricky. I mean you can't really see much of it. So.
Yeah, I think he was briefly considering, is it worth taking a run at that run back double? But, oh boy, I really.
Yeah,
yes, it's there, but is it worth it? I really don't think so. I think you just take your medicine, hit this one, concede the 2. Yeah, you'll get the hammer in an even end, and see what you can manufacture.
Yeah, I agree. Early on, just no reason to get too far behind here.
Sometimes you got to lay up instead of going for the green. Not that you want to, but that's just the way it is sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. It's I'm very fond of playing in league or Bondsmith saying the double's always there. But
so hits and rolls in a little bit and shrinks the house just a little bit. But Korey's really got the exact same shot, and with sweepers like Mark Fenner and Tom Howell escorting them, I don't think there's really any worry about making this.
no. So we've got a question in the chat. Is this the C semifinals? Is this a quarterfinal or is it?
No, this
Semi?
this is a semifinal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is a semifinal. Winner from this will move on to a C final against the winner of Karsten Sterme, Reed Carruthers. The other 2 games are C semis as well. Jack Gauthier, Ryan Kleider, Tanner Horgan, Kyler Kleibrink. Winners of those 2 will play in the other C final.
Oh, gotcha. Brackets are posted on curlingzone.com if you want to go check that out. That's actually kind of where I was looking and kind of see it. And so I think what kind of got me was seeing that there were a couple of qualifiers out of it. Yeah, this
Right.
triple knock event is something I'm personally not familiar with. So,
but as it happens there, no mistake on the draw. Dropkin gets his very patient 2, and they will have the lead, and McEwen will have the hammer for the first time in the 4th end, and we'll have that right after this. back now for the fourth end. Team Korey Dropkin draws first blood and scores 2 in the third end. Team McEwen will have the hammer for the first time. Let's see what they can do with it to get some offense going.
Looks like we have pretty standard setup here so far. Center and corner go up.
Yeah, and this is some teams with the lead after scoring a 2, they'll put their first rock in the top 4 foot, but that's not Dropkin style. He throws a center guard. He wants to keep mixing it up. That's some might consider that aggressive, but honestly, if you want to maintain control of the game, control of the action, that's actually the way to do it. And that shows a confidence in your team's ability to execute the shots. When you got Tom Howell placing them like that, that makes it pretty easy.
Wow. Yeah. Pretty good.
I think that. So Mark, you were talking about how the triple knockout is fairly new to you.
Yeah.
It's typically a format that you only see at tour events like this, and I mean it's basically as it sounds. As long as you don't lose 3 games, you are alive somewhere.
Okay.
And in this particular event, you basically qualify a certain number of teams out of each event. You have an A event, B event, C event. The C event has 2 qualifiers that get into the playoffs.
Sure.
The A event actually had 3, I believe. So you had a 48 teams total. So the A event is basically 3 separate 8-team brackets. So the teams that run through that qualify out of the A side. You lose 1, you drop into the B event. That also qualifies 3 teams. You lose out of the B, you drop into the C. And you have 2 teams coming out of that, and there's your 8-team playoff field, and that's just a single elimination knockout bracket.
Gotcha. So if I'm essentially, if I go to Curling Zone and look at it, essentially it's almost like 2 halves of a tournament, right, or 2 halves of a spiel, where you're just looking to get one of the qualifying spots, and then you're going to a single elimination. Is that the best way to think about what a qualifier is?
Yeah, more or less. It's not like it basically is exactly that. It's not like you go to a social bonspiel, you've got like the first event, the second event, and the first event is just that's your bonspiel champion, and that's the one team that went undefeated. And you don't run tour events like that because there's just so many good teams, and it's about momentum, and it's about getting many games in, and triple knockout is just a really good way of kind of filtering out the teams that are playing best on that particular weekend.
Yeah, it's interesting to know. Yeah, as you kind of put it, I myself being just kind of a recreational bonspiel curler, just used to the format that I'm sure our viewers are familiar with. It's kind of a 3-game guarantee. Lose your 3rd game and you're probably out.
Yep. Whereas a tour event like this, you could play as few as 4 or 5 games. You could play as many as 9. It all depends on where you lose and when. Sometimes it could be as few as 3 or as many as 10, and it really all depends on number of teams, how they've got it structured. But there's a qualifier I played in some years ago. It was in, I'm trying to remember which event it was. I think it was a U.S. national qualifier in Hibbing for the national championships. That was a triple knockout, and my team qualified through on the A side to get to nationals. We played 4 games. There was a team that lost their first 2 to fall into the C side, and they won either 7 or 8 games in a row to get to nationals. And that was the bracket. It was just, game, just steadily up. And that's the thing. You lose the 2 and fall into the C bracket, and it's an absolute death march.
Jeez. Nice shot by Mark Fenner there. Well swept and managed. Pretty well covered, forcing Mike to kind of play down to it here.
Yeah, Dropkin's team is executing really well so far. They're really putting some pressure on McEwen to making them make some really tough shots.
Yeah,
And
you know,
that's absolutely what you got to do against teams like this. You gotta put pressure on them. It's what it's all about.
you know, as young as they are, you know, the core of that team has been, you know, playing together for such a long time and have worked out, you know, their communication preferences over the years. Coming up a bit light here.
Yeah, that's definitely short, and that's not where Mike wanted that one.
Yep. Korey quick to tap room up there and
Absolutely.
guard the guard, I guess.
This situation 100% favors him, and he's gonna take it and run with it as long as he can. And I think you're gonna see McEwen have to start cleaning things up on the next shot.
Yep.
This is congested, and he's really got nothing to work with right now.
Well, Sean, I also wanted to ask about some more World Curling news here. So
Okay.
it looked like Mr. Bo Welling has been voted as new president. I don't know Bo, but he appears to be very well. Keep in mind, I do curl, you know, out of the South here, and don't get a chance to go up north here. But you know, from what I've seen, is he's well regarded in the curling community.
He is extremely well respected in the curling community. Bo owns a golf course design company called Bo Welling Design, and he first came to curling, I believe, in about 2006. He saw it in the Olympics, and the way the story was told to me, Bo lives in, I believe, South Carolina, and
Nice.
Greenville, South Carolina, I believe, and he saw curling on the Olympics and was instantly taken with it. And my understanding is that he immediately got on a plane to Bemidji, Minnesota. That was about 70 degrees colder than what he was used to. Got up there to watch nationals and was just immediately taken with it and has been a huge part of the game ever since. And I did have the pleasure of meeting Bo a few years ago. Wonderful, warm man, generous guy, really cool. And yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised to see that he's now the new president of the WCF. That's really cool. Big congratulations to Bo. He's going to do great things. You know, wonderful guy.
That's awesome to hear. You know, myself as, you know, somewhat a newer curler, right? You know, and we know curling is a sport steeped in tradition, but you know, to get someone that's, you know, just saw it and knew, and now just, you know, being a very important part of the curling world here, and excited to see, you know, newer representation in curling, but then also someone that's probably going to use his skill set to help, you know, bring new clubs to non-traditional areas. So that's always very exciting.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to seeing what goes down with him at the helm. It's going to be cool. It's going to be fun to watch. So that run back from Ryan Fry really did not work the way he wanted. I think they wanted to make a little more noise than they did.
Yeah, I mean,
hoping to catch that yellow a little thicker and disturb at least one of the Dropkin stones, but it really just kind of lined up the center situation. The shot stone is quite well protected, and Korey is content to just keep on throwing guards.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like it's kind of a half make. You know, I've always heard that you're trying to accomplish, you know, two things with each rock, and so while they opened it up a little bit, yeah, you're absolutely right. They wanted to move stuff around a little bit more inside the rings here. Korey, loving his situation inside the house, is very content to just go ahead and throw guards so as to not disturb what's going on in there.
Absolutely, he loves his situation right now. Pretty well placed, and still a lot of work for Team McEwen to do.
Yeah. I was wondering if Mike is going to start looking at running on some of these corners back here. Well, I guess he really just has one unless he wants to.
In my experience, you typically don't run corners unless you really have no other choice.
Yeah.
Because they're much harder to call. You're trying to hit a very particular spot, while you still have rocks coming before skips rocks. You're always trying to open up the middle to make it because it's a little simpler.
Ooh. Not gonna be happy with that result.
Well, it's still better. Middle is still open, and it did create a double on those reds. So Korey will probably still throw a guard.
Yeah. But
they need to be a little bit precise about where they place it, just to not leave a double.
Yeah. So you're looking for somewhere, maybe just on the left side of center here. Or...
Yeah, if you're just biting center, that's what you're looking at, because you're guarding a double, but you're still just guarding one lot. You're guarding the top one.
Yeah. Now with how the red rocks are lined up, do you have to be a bit more careful about your depth here? Or...
It's more of a line shot than anything. As long as you've got it in the way of the double being made, that mission accomplished. You don't want to be too tight, obviously. Like, you don't want to be just a foot from the house. So just about halfway. I'd say maybe level with that other red guard, or just a tiny bit deeper than it, is where you want to be. But it's more a line shot than anything. Just bite the center line to be perfect.
That's pretty. Across the center a little bit. Ooh. Are you kind of surprised here that they're looking at the corner right now? I would think you could just go something at the center here. Yeah. Yeah, a few different options here. I thought they would have looked at maybe running something towards the center line back, and maybe saving some of these corners, but initially they went to the corners here, so curious to kind of what. Yeah, so Sean, I mean, if I'm looking at this, I think my natural inclination is again playing out the center, because the angles are a little bit more straightforward. But at this kind of level, I think the playing in the corners, right, they're going to be pretty close, right, just at that level. But looks like after the discussion, they're going to go back to the center and keep it. It's pretty straightforward here, so.
Yeah, they throw those corner shots a lot. They were looking at it, but it's just messy enough and low percentage enough that I think I like this, because they can clear what they can do. They can get this red going back into the rings. They can push the yellow out of the way, maybe spin another yellow on, and open things up, and maybe at least give themselves a chance with Mike's last.
Ooh.
He did not want to do that.
Bit of bad luck catching it pretty thin there.
That's a really rough break. Pushed them both buried, and left yet another of his. He's got all the lemons in the world on the right side of the sheet, but is hard pressed to be able to use any of them. And Mike's body language says just one thing. He's just really. Like, did that really just happen? It's actually hard to imagine a worse outcome on that.
Yeah.
He not only didn't remove either Dropkin stone, but they're both buried now. And now what's he gonna have on his last? He's really not gonna have much.
It's not gonna have much. I mean, I guess you're looking to maybe draw the button for the single, but Korey looking to take it away with this placement here.
And you place this well. McEwen's gonna have a really tough shot to score.
Yeah.
You could just drop this half in the 8 foot wide open, kind of covering the right side of the button. Where's your draw path?
Yeah, oof, that's gonna be scary. Sweeper's on it pretty early.
This has
Looks
a
like
lot
of room here.
This is still on the corner over there.
Are they gonna have to take it off the corner here? Nope. Clears the corner, and it's gonna end up. Ooh.
Well, that's not quite where Korey wanted it. I think he would have liked that a couple feet higher and at least a foot over. That ran for a long time. I'm not sure if that just fooled him, but it gets the job done. Mike really has no choice but to just draw the button here.
Yeah, I suppose there's a hit and a tiny roll, but that's a little tricky.
And there's no reason to play that. You ever hit that wrong? A nose hit there gives up 2.
Yeah.
The draw is definitely the shot. This is what the skips get paid the big bucks for.
That was a fun shot here. Just draw the button against 3. No problem.
Well, here's the thing. When you've been playing long enough, and especially if you're a skip at this level, it's not draw the button against 3. The shot is draw the button.
Yep.
That's it. You don't even think about the other stones that are there. You just, this is my line, this is my weight. I'm gonna throw it, and my sweepers will place it where it needs to be.
Yep, that's a good way to think about it. Just you got a number in mind, you throw it, and let the sweepers manage it.
Yep.
This one appears to be coming in just nicely. Just a matter of sweepers getting the last bit of weight to a good spot.
No problem. Right there. Nicely done. So Mike McEwen pulls out the goods to make a nice draw for 1 and gets on the board here. After 4 ends, Korey Dropkin has a 2-1 lead and will have the hammer in the 5th end. And we'll have that for you right after this.
they stay there, and they stay there.
All right, we're back for the fifth end of this C semifinal matchup between Korey Dropkin and Mike McEwen at the Curling Stadium Alberta Curling Series Major event in Leduc, Alberta. My name is Sean Murray. Joining me is Mark and Go. And been pretty good game so far, Mark. This last end especially was really interesting. A couple of really bad breaks for Team McEwen and the way things worked out, but they got on the board.
Yeah, I mean, Mike with the nice draw to, save them. Yeah, but yeah, definitely some tough breaks on some hits, some stuff, and some rolled to bad places. Definitely with these two teams, yeah, you'd expect a pretty good match here.
Yeah, it's a fair assessment to say that Korey's last, he had a chance to put some really serious pressure on Mike, and would have made it really difficult for him to score at all, but didn't quite work out and left Mike to draw for one. And we'll see if in the second half if that might come back to bite him a little bit. And he has control of the game, but it is only by 1 point.
Yeah. So shout out to all the people watching us. Looks like we've got over 400 people watching us on YouTube and over 60 on the Facebook Live page. So if you are watching, we welcome any feedback you guys have for us in terms of audio, stuff you guys want to talk about. Feel free to share this with your curling friends or people that are just, remotely interested in curling.
Definitely, if you're watching this stream on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you are, we have one word for you: share. Please share this stream. Please share any stream. Curling Stadium is a relatively new but growing product. Really want to get this out there, marketed and visible in front of as many people as we can. Those shares really help us, and we appreciate you for that.
Yeah, I mean, even myself as a newer curler, I remember, in the early days, or even now, if you look on, curling Reddit, people are asking, where can you find streams of curling, where you can go back, and a lot of people are having to go back and watch older games on YouTube, which are great. The history of curling is, rich and wonderful. And seeing some of the classic games are great, but being able to watch live curling, some of these up and coming teams, some of these new teams, this has been great for me as a fan. So I've been really happy to watch these, and now I get to commentate a few games here and there.
Absolutely. So McEwen with 2 guards up, Dropkin with 2 around. Gonna get into it again a little bit here, and that's very nicely placed draw. That's Dropkin can't do anything with that, so those guards gotta go.
Now, if they had dropped that where it was just kind of corner frozen to the top of that red, is the call still the same here?
I think rid of the guards? I think you'd still see it because those guards are the stones that are the biggest threat to Dropkin on the ice. Very nice double peel from Mark Fenner. Yeah, the fact that it's shot stone really doesn't change much. What Korey is thinking about this end is a blank. He wants to blank this end, have the hammer and the lead in an even end. Then he's in the 6th end. Even if he gets forced to 1, he's up 2 with only 2 ends left, and statistically that's a pretty good position on the tour. You're now looking to play the hit on those reds.
Yeah. It's a pretty good result there.
Yeah, saves his other one. Sits first and third. So a lot of rocks to come, but the force is maybe still on the books if he can maneuver things around the way he wants.
Yeah, I think this will be a very interesting end, you know, and when we look at last end, which is very interesting as well, right? You know, a lot of guards in play, a lot of angles to consider. No guards in play here, but you know, it's going to be really important to see where these shots kind of roll to and who's going to take on a double first, I guess.
In that respect, I would almost say it's who's going to leave a double first.
Yeah.
And there you go. We haven't really had to talk much about commentators' curse yet this game, but okay, I guess that one's my fault. I say it and it happens.
Say it and it happens.
Sorry, Mark. Sorry. I'll buy you a drink next time I see you. The double is actually jammed. But really not a bad result for Team McEwen. I mean, Dropkin is shot stone, but they're behind the tee line. And these two in the house for McEwen are giving Dropkin a little bit of issues. So
Yeah.
Just looking to hit this one, roll to the shooter's right, the overhead left. Keep some separation. Still get a deuce out of this.
Yeah, there's still a lot in play here. Right? There's a deuce, there's a blank. Probably not a lot of steal options at this point, but
I wouldn't think so, but you never know.
And as you said, yep, roll over to the left-hand side of the screen.
That's going to leave another double back.
That's going to leave a double there.
But if this double is made, there'll be yet another double. So we'll have to see who makes what and who leaves what. Is definitely one of the guys you want throwing this kind of shot.
Sweeper's on it to hold line here. And called and
mistake.
Made. Yep. Sticks it very nicely. Does leave another double back, but you can't avoid that really. Yeah, and happy to make the double.
Yeah. Well, once that last redstone came to rest, I was starting to think at that point, this is kind of looking like a blank now.
Yeah.
Because double, and there you are.
It's just, man, it's just so routine for these guys.
Oh yeah, this is just standard tool in the bag for players at this level. Just throw it hard, hit the broom, you make one, and you make the other.
Yep,
just like that.
Korey makes his. So while they clean up this send here, it looks like we'll take a update on some of the other sheets. Looks like Kleider's up 3-1 over Gautier. Oregon and Kleinbrink tied up 2 each. And it looks like Carruthers is up 3-2 over Sturmey, although that appears to be an end behind, so maybe we have an update there.
So none of these games are runaways.
Oh, here now Carruthers. That they just had a measure and scored a big 4, so brings the score to 7-2. Carruthers over Sturmey.
I was just about to say how none of these games are runaways. I guess I have to take that back.
That's you didn't curse it though, so
I didn't
it already
even know
happened
about it. It already happened. So yeah, I'm not going to take the blame for that one. That's not my fault. Anyone who's interested, every game is live on Curling Zone's YouTube channel. I believe this is the only game going this draw that has commentary. Not commentary, but every game is live. Watch whoever is playing whenever you want. One of the goals of Curling Stadium is to not just broadcast from as many events as possible, but to broadcast as many games as possible at the same time.
So, hey, Sean, I was wondering here. So if you look at Curling Zone, and you see the games here, there's some YouTube buttons that are red and some that are blue. Does that have to do with commentary, or is that something else?
I wonder if that's so. I think it's got to do with production quality.
Okay.
I think the red ones are more full. Red ones are more fully produced, and the blue ones are what's called tier 3. It's just a little more basic production.
Gotcha. So it's more of the camera setup and angles and whatnot, and the split screens and things like that.
Right. Yes, exactly.
So I hope
that was a very good question. I hadn't even noticed the different buttons before, but that was really good. I'm glad somebody asked that.
Yeah, thank you for those in the chats that's asking about that. But yeah, and even me, I've been browsing the Curling Zone site for years, and to see all these improvements is kind of neat. Seeing all the features come on, it's just kind of speaks to the growth of it, and, which relies on all the viewers out here, right, watching us and helping us.
Absolutely. Feedback. So Dropkin makes no mistake on his blank. Successfully executes. He's going to hold the 2-1 lead and the hammer over Mike McEwen into the 6th end, and we'll have that for you right after this. All right, back for the 6th end between Korey Dropkin and Mike McEwen. Dropkin very patiently holding a 1-point lead in hammer in the 6th end. We did just get confirmation that the Carruthers game is a final. So the winner of this game, McEwen Dropkin, will take on Reed Carruthers in one of the 2 C event finals this afternoon.
Yeah, that'll be a heck of a matchup here. Either either Korey repping for the U.S. or the I guess the battle of the former teammates here between McEwen and
McEwen Carruthers, yep.
others. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a ticket attempt here.
Yep, looking for the tick shot. Definitely trying to move this out of the way. And maybe even roll it on the rings
Roll it
as a bonus.
on.
Oh, really nice.
Well played. Yeah.
Tom Howell showing off a little bit there. Nice work.
Yeah. Maybe even the ticked guard. I mean, it's just rolled over to. I mean, it's a corner for them, right? It's not the right color, but definitely helpful here.
Absolutely. It's of no use to Team McEwen way over there. So just looking for the tap back here. Not sure they're trying to necessarily remove this redstone.
This one's got some curling to do here. It's gonna have to. Brent's gonna have to really work on this to get a piece.
Better than hitting that little
Got a piece, but is it staying around? It has to stay in the house. I think that roast rolled off. They both rolled off.
Korey, definitely one of the better skip sweepers.
Yeah, before taking over as a skip at the men's level, Korey and Tom were played front end in an Olympic cycle for a certain guy by the name of Heath McCormick, who played in the U.S. for a while. So Korey is a pretty good sweeper, really good shape.
Are you kind of surprised they went after the guard there, not sink one in?
No, not really, because with the lead in the hammer, Korey's main objective this end at the worst is going to be to just score, even if he scores one.
Yeah,
he doesn't want to get junked up and maybe give McEwen a steal, because that's definitely what McEwen's trying to do is steal this end. So keep it as simple as possible. Blank is obviously fine, but scoring is good too. So he wants to keep it simple, because McEwen is the team that needs it complicated.
Wow, we're at 475 on the YouTube stream. That's great.
I was just looking at that. It's wonderful to have so many people joining us. Varied parts of the world. I know we had reps from Sweden, Finland, Rich Harmer from Thailand, various places throughout the U.S. Glad y'all could be with us. Some minor technical difficulties on our end with our video. It's not going to affect what you guys see out there, but we're just having to work on a couple of things here so we don't see the game as it's happening. So just bear with us. One other score update from one of the other C semifinals is Ryland Kleider just took a 3 against Jacques Gauthier and now leads that game 6-1. That's on the other C side of the C bracket. So Kleider looks in good shape to win that game. As we said, Reed Carruthers won their game versus Carson Stermay, 7-2 and 4 ends. Carruthers will get the winner of this game between McEwen and Dropkin.
Hey, what time is that set for? Is that going to be?
I believe that's at 2 p.m. Mountain Time.
2 p.m. Mountain Time. Okay. Yeah, so quite a bit more curling for today. For those that are watching today, we'll have a few more draws, a few more games to cover today.
Yeah, looks like we've got the video back up here. Appreciate our production crew taking care of things for us. So it looks like the only stones in play right now are really McEwen stones. Just that one that's top 12.
I like soft too, but
Set up a center guard.
you can't roll out. We just want to get our shooter out.
Now, is it more important for him to? Are you looking for the double or peel or? Ooh, this has been inside.
They're definitely looking to get both of them. It's pretty close, actually.
Oh,
there you go.
Thought I was gonna finish a little bit harder. Leaves a couple corners, so there is a spot for Mike to go to, but we'll see if he elects to throw up another guard or not. Nope.
You know, at this point, he's realizing I'm probably not stealing this 10.
Yeah.
So the best he can hope for is a force. So that's just a matter of where you put it. You might want to be careful about going fully buried, because if it's fully buried, you might see Korey just corner freeze on it, and then he could set up 2. You might actually want to leave this mostly open.
Yeah, we'll see what Korey decides to do. You know, I mean, he's played aggressively. You know, and we would think that would be the aggressive call, but we'll see what happens here. A few more people checking out the YouTube chat. Looks like we've got over 500 members. That's amazing. Or 500 people watching. Got Sue watching us, watching the Lions in curling. So I'm assuming she's talking about the Detroit Lions.
Oh boy, my sympathies.
Ugh, I mean,
why would you do that to yourself?
I can't really say that as a Bears fan. So I mean,
that's fair.
We'll just agree to dislike the Packers. So. Gary checking in over there, and David talking about as a Ricky skit, comforting seeing the pros flash the occasional shot. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. No one makes everything.
No one makes everything, and people fall. I've seen.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, 3 or 4 falls this weekend.
It's still early in the season, people getting their sea legs under them for sure.
Yeah.
So McEwen's come around. That's pretty fully buried, and that looks to be a little bit behind the tee line. Probably
deep, so
not quite where he wanted it.
So I think we'll see Korey go down to it.
Absolutely.
Seneca chiming in for the Lions. I mean, who are they playing?
I don't know. I don't follow NFL football as much as I used to.
I mean, are they playing a college team or?
Jeez.
I mean, if they're playing a professional team, it's a different story.
Man, somebody's being saucy this morning.
I kid. I mean, that's all I have as a Bears fan. We were
Fair.
If you're for an NFL update, the Bears are already losing, down 7-0 against the 49ers. Where at least the lines are tied with the Eagles. So.
That's something. I used to be a Redskins fan when they were still called the Redskins, but now they're the Commanders, and I'm like, I don't really know. No, I'm just not going to do that. Sorry.
Sweepers on and off this one looks to be coming in pretty nicely. Had some room to curl, but
you don't want this to
finishing
over curl and
nicely.
not hold the angle.
Yeah.
Gets down to the face. I think it's still just shot stone.
I think so. Yeah, I think the saving grace is, Marks had slid a decent amount behind T, so he had a little bit of room, but
I feel like Korey would have liked that a little more to the center, like maybe not frozen dead on the nose, but sort of half frozen.
yeah,
Because then this freeze, it would be really tough for McEwen to freeze and not leave some kind of shot. But now he can do the same thing, freeze, and Korey's going to have no chance to get it out.
yeah, not an easy shot by any means, but you feel like Korey let him off just a little bit, like we saw a couple ends ago.
Well, the nice thing about it is that Korey's got nothing but a draw with 4 foot. That's exactly what he just threw. So he knows the speed. Either he'll have some kind of draw tap for 2, or just a draw for 1.
Yeah, that's true. That's the advantage of having a hammer here.
So, Mike places it pretty much perfectly. I think that's more or less where Korey would have liked his. But no chance of getting that out. So Korey's just got the cold draw. Just need to get a decent chunk of the 4 foot.
Yep, pretty routine.
Korey just looking for the button, or close to it.
A little bit more urgency from the sweepers, but imagine we'll be pretty close, if not just fine. Sweepers working it hard. Oh, that's
no mistake.
That's the power of youth right there.
The advantages of the young bucks for sure. So nice easy draw there. Korey Dropkin gets 1 and now has a 3-1 lead over Mike McEwen after 6 ends. And we'll have the 7th end, McEwen with hammer, right after this.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there.
All right, back for the 7th end. Really good tight match here between Mike McEwen and Korey Dropkin. Dropkin with a 3-1 lead. 2 ends left. Mike McEwen down 2, but they have the hammer. I want to get going a little bit on offense here.
Now, are we going to see them look to blank here and just go in with, or I mean, what does the math say for this level?
You know, I think it all depends on which position is better, and I don't think either one is great. It's either tied in the last end, tied without, or down 2 with. I don't think either position is great, but I feel like if you've got 2 ends to score in, you might as well try to score in both ends instead of limiting yourself to one. So I think you're going to see McEwen go reasonably hard to try and get 2 in. Yeah, statistically, it's, at least at the slam level, I don't know about the tour level here, it's really not great to be in either position. Winning percentage is between apparently 8 to 10%.
Wow.
So not really a strong position either way, but that's why I was saying in the last end, Korey's main goal was just to score that end, because up 2 with only 2 ends left is a very strong position.
You have a corner, just, you know.
So based on the shot selection here, Ryan McEwen throwing stacked corners on one side, it looks like they're going to be doing fairly hard to try and get 2 here. We're going to see how it pans out. Obviously, Korey's going to be keeping play in the middle, try and keep the scoring areas small, and when at the first opportunity, I'm sure he'll race up to the field these guys off. That draw didn't quite land where Korey was wanting that. They would have liked that a little more buried.
So yeah, I think initially I was thinking they would go into the corner here, but I guess if you want to keep those corners up and move play to the center, which maybe seems counterintuitive, but I guess it lessens the risk of them peeling the guards and use those later.
Well, the one thing McEwen absolutely doesn't want to do here is give up a steal.
Yeah.
If he ignores the center situation for too long, then that would be really dangerous. So not a bad call. Make the guard. You've got that one a little bit covered under the center, and with that being in the rings, Korey has to leave those guards there for a little bit, which works to McEwen's favor.
Yeah, that's well made there.
Mark Fenner will be looking to remove this yellow. You're going to be rolling somewhere, so as long as you stay in the rings.
It's out there's a way.
Oh, it'll finish. It looks pretty good.
Okay. Gets enough of it to squeeze that McEwen stone out of the rings.
Yeah, that kind of shot shows the importance of those quiet hit weights. You don't, at this level, you don't see players throwing nothing but up weight normal hits at stuff. they throw the quiet, the hacks, the boards, because the sweepers can actually control those speeds and manage them better. And you also save your shooter in the rings more often as well. But with it rolling way out to the side like that, Mike now has an opportunity to go under those corner guards.
Oh, this one appears to be heavy. May overcurl just a touch.
I think they had to go for line early on that one. I think it looks like it slid back to second shot.
Yeah. Looks like Korey's electing to go ahead and draw down to it instead of getting rid of the guards. Oh, no. And as I say that, looks like he's looking at this double peel now.
Yeah, I was wondering about following it in because that's exactly what McEwen wanted him to do. It's like Korey goes in, Mike goes in again, and then all the play is going to be on that side, and that's not where you want it. I like this better.
Yeah.
Korey's really not going to be too worried about giving up two here. He's tied with a really strong position in the last end. Only gets one.
But could you say you could make an argument if you come down to it and essentially the force is on, right?
Not necessarily, because you get in there, you're sitting two, but you're basically guaranteeing there's going to be no blank.
Yeah.
But, you're forcing them, but you might be forcing them to two, which is okay, but yeah, that's the danger is you go hard. It's like, all right, I'll hold you to two, but then one missed shot could suddenly turn a two into a three, and
yeah.
Even right here, that's certainly within the realm of possibility.
Now looking, are they looking to get an inside roll here? Or no, actually just drawing.
It's just a draw, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no need for them to hit that red just yet. But, that slid quite a ways deep. So with it going that deep, there's gonna be more separation between that and the guard. It's going to be easier to get around and remove this, and maybe sit two.
With the end getting a little bit messier like this, who does it favor?
Well, more rocks in play favors McEwen because they're the ones that are behind on the scoreboard. Generally, more rocks in play favors the team that's trailing because they need the offense. But just because of where those two are, it's not a great setup for McEwen.
Yeah. Sweeping early to hold the line now.
I'm trying to make it
Tom
curl
coming
at this
in.
point.
Yeah, coming in late.
Makes the hit, but it rolls to looks like third shot. So Ryan Fry going to give another go at this outturn draw. Try to keep this one a little higher in the rings.
This one's got some room as well, and hard to tell from the video feed, but this may be sliding in a bit heavy as well.
Stops back 8, but again, on the deep side.
Yeah. It may just be a spot that's maybe fooling both teams, or...
Yeah, that's very possible. This one actually over curling, unlike the last one. Korey should be able to see pretty close to half of this from the hack, so
yeah,
not too difficult to get to it.
Now, where's he looking to roll here, or just?
Well, it's going to roll. It's going to roll towards the broom, obviously. The trick is to hold it in the 8 foot so that he's sitting 2.
Gotcha.
Then the force, the force to 1 is very much alive at that point.
Getting up to 570, almost 600 people watching us in the YouTube stream. That's great.
Really get by the guard, I think.
Yep. Tom was on it all the way.
Ooh,
Oh,
just got by.
did
Wow.
he touch the side of it?
I can't tell.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would have thought it would have redirected more, but that's, again, the power of youth in full effect here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, me dating myself by using the phrase "in full effect." All you 90s kids out there.
Now the discussion is what best to do here. Dropkin sitting 2. You're absolutely not blanking at this point. So now it's basically what can we do to get ourselves to? So
Yeah.
couple ways to think about it. Mike was looking at trying to play that double or maybe the hit and roll off of the right one.
Off the right side. Yeah, that was the only thing I was thinking. I mean,
could make a direct play on the shot stone. You could maybe try a freeze of some kind if you get a freeze right on the face.
yeah, I think with it behind T, it's freeze is not a easy shot by any means here, and
no, that ice, it looks like they're going to be trying to soft weight hit and roll.
Yeah.
Try and get to the inside and roll behind the guard, and
hope Korey misses the freeze.
Yeah, it's going to be behind from this angle. It looks like it's going to be behind the T line, but I don't really think it's late enough in the end and late enough in the game that you kind of have to take a couple of risks. So just looking at, say, around hack weight or so, hack to an easy board.
Brent on it early. Switching it up here. Oh, few late licks here and rolls open.
Now just a hair of extra finish right at the end caused it to roll out in the open. Mike had a really good shot there until just the last couple of feet, and it really snapped kind of hard.
Are we going to see a Silton shot from Korey here, you think?
I think he's just looking for a nose hit here.
Okay.
Can't really risk rolling too far to the left, because that'll actually kind of improve the angle if Mike tries to take on some kind of long double with his last one.
Yeah.
A nose hit is going to make a double for 2 pretty hard.
Wait, Tom thinks is a little up here. It's a little clean by Mark.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's coming in nicely there. Some good late curl there, and should just get to nose, yeah. Flops
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
That's going to be a monumentally difficult too, because you can't take on the straight double because you're never holding your shooter. So
yeah,
if you want to, you basically have to just play a super thin redirect.
Yeah,
That's thinner than a Hackner double.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's the Hackner with not. Yeah,
I
because
think
it's
Mike realizing it's really not there. I just got to take one.
so the call here is to take one and then 2 consecutive steals instead of
Yep.
trying the thin double
No,
or redirect. Yeah,
I mean, the thin double is such a low percentage, and
yeah.
even if you make it, you know, you're trying a
Oh,
an incredibly hard shot to be tied without. You have to steal
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
So you might as well take the makeable shot here, and well, you got it. You'd have to steal in any case. So let's keep the game going at least.
Hanging out there a bit, but Brent's
Should
leaning on it
Should come right
nicely.
to the nose.
Well played.
Yep. Nicely thrown. It's a score of 1. McEwen is going to be trailing 3-2 without the hammer in the 8th and potentially final end. And we're going to have that for you right after this. All right, we're back for the 8th end. Korey Dropkin holds a 3-2 lead with a hammer over Mike McEwen. And McEwen's first rock is at the boards.
Oh no.
Not sure if it was hog. That's definitely not the way you want to start the 8th end, where you have to steal.
Oof.
And of course, Korey wants absolutely nothing to do with rocks in play. He just has Tom throw his first one through. So that's a rough way to start an 8th end when you got to steal.
Yeah, that's not good. What's I'm curious. So at my spiels, if you hog a rock, we do bad shots for bad shots, so you have to take a shot of Malort here. Do we see like anything like this even on on the tour level, like where they hang around her?
They certainly might. After the game, if they end up losing, Lang might be like, okay, I need to take a punishment shot of some sort because that was just bad.
Yeah.
So now with the guard placed, looking for the tick shot.
Yep, sweepers very close to managing this. Yep. Gosh, that's good.
That's really nice stuff. throw another center guard, but after that,
Yeah.
free guard zone is going to be off, and Dropkin can just start ripping. So barring a miscue on one of the peels. Well, no, they're changing. He's going to go ahead and bring one in. And I can understand the theory behind this. You can throw a series of center guards, sure. What are the odds that even one peel is going to be missed or jammed? Not great. So I think McEwen's thought now is, let me get one in behind what I've got, which isn't fantastic, but it's something. And at the end of the day, I want Dropkin throwing against 2.
Yep.
The pass a little different from this really keen pass, right?
Oof. That is a bit of a miss there. I mean, they've got one in the rings here.
Yeah, I wouldn't have liked to have gotten that by. But, with that first guard being hogged, McEwen's going to really need a little bit of help from the Dropkin team in form of a miss or two to have a reasonable chance. Fenner just makes the nose hit. He was looking to peel that out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, rocks in play really aren't of much help to Dropkin at this point. That's actually that stone there being where it is more of a guard than anything for McEwen.
Not looking to go behind it, but with that rock being top 12, probably need to get some separation. So probably having to go behind the tee here. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you're going at least back 8 foot. It's really just about getting something in the house behind cover where it can't be removed. It doesn't even necessarily need to be shot yet at this point. You've got lots of stones yet to come.
That's coming up.
Yeah, I do like the one of the other points about just throwing a center peel. It's the same shot over and over and over, and you're not changing anything for your opponent. But this is making them throw some different shots on different lines. And,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're a first week club curler or you've been playing on the tour for 20, 30 years. As I was saying, no one makes everything, and you're going to create. There's going to be misses, and it's just about changing things up and creating pressure and just making your opponent do different things. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, Korey still have to, think about strategy instead of easy peels. And even when that shot was made for a double, there's still rocks in play. There's still stuff to come behind. And, yeah, so, I mean, even with this hog here, it's been great call by Mike to get something going.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes stuff like that happens, and you've got to play what you're given. Play what they give you. And I mean, are the odds good? No, but they're better than 0. So you just you take what the opponent gives you.
Just looking to peel this out here. Flirting with the guard a little bit, but
I'll flirting with the guard, and again, that's another stone that
yeah,
McEwen can use. That's something. That's a catcher. That's a jam possibility. It's something you can freeze on.
Yeah. Still electing to go into the corner, maybe hope for a miss, and then freeze, and then really, then we're on here.
Still eminently possible for McEwen to get Korey to throw against 2.
Late sweep by Brent here, trying to tuck it behind it, and we're gonna be Looks like it just rubbed there.
Oh, and now this is
You see a little smile from Korey there. I think he's thinking if they take this shot at this double, it might
well.
jam. Yeah.
It's dangerous, okay? Because you look at it. Yeah, sure, you can go ahead and try to drive that red into the yellow, but where's it going? Look at what's in the back of the 8-foot.
That's
But if you try to go straight at it, you can't see the whole thing. What happens if you pick your own out?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Korey's little grin there was kind of like, oh, what are you guys doing to me here? You know, little sneaky little shots that we have to deal with that you know they look simple, but they're really not. You have to be careful. And, well, definitely got away with it there.
Yeah.
Pretty good result.
Pretty good result.
Got away with the jam. Still got his 2 in the house over there.
He's still, it's thin, but he's got a couple corners to work with over there. That's the cornerest of corners, though. But
yeah, I'm not sure what. I'm not sure what's beyond the weeds. Maybe the sticks, but yeah, those stones are definitely out in the sticks. And again, I don't really know what else you do if you're McEwen. I mean, it's all you've got.
yeah, what do we have here? You're either swinging behind, or you tap the red and maybe kind of settle in front.
You come behind it. I mean, come behind it, leave it half open. See if you can
get him to chase.
Tease Korey to go after it. You get a miss, you can still split the rings and make him throw against 2. You know, that's really all you've got. I mean, as I was saying earlier on, to have a chance, Team Dropkin really has to cooperate with a miss of some kind here.
You know, and it's fascinating that we've got this end shaping out because you have one rock going, the lead rock going through. You've got a successful tick made, and we still got a lot to talk about here.
Absolutely. You know, and that just goes back to, you know, you take what the opponent gives you. You know, we hogged the guard. Yeah, that's crappy. That's not a winning strategy. But there's still stones in play, and I'm going to use them to the best of my abilities because it's what I've got.
This side's been curling a bit more with this inside out, so on it early to hold the line. Maybe late licks from Brent here once we get by.
This needs to stop.
Oh, this needs to check.
Oof. Through it goes.
Oh.
Well, and even here you got to think a little bit about where you go. I mean, you blow them up. That's what you're going to do.
Rip it, yeah. That's what you got to do there. Thank you for everyone that's joining us this morning. Even to this final kind of exciting fun end here. We've got over 600 people, 623 I'm seeing on the YouTube feed, so that's great.
You know, one shot that some club players might say is, why are you hitting this? Why don't you just put one in the 4-foot somewhere? And he's got to hit it. Then you got an open hit. It's like, okay, well, what happens if you're deep and he freezes to you?
Yeah.
You need fewer rocks in play, not more.
Yep. Or if he's light, you're leaving him a guard. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. If that thing picks and stops as a center guard, well, how foolish do you feel for even throwing that thing?
All right. Let's see if Mike can kind of make up for it. I guess. Yeah. I mean, you could freeze here. It's going to be tough to get rid of it. So, you know,
it's either freeze or the best. No, quote unquote best because it's really not that good, but it's all you got. Again, probably I would probably be looking at coming around this one on the right.
On the right-hand side?
Yeah, just leave it half open. And you're counting on he's got to miss the 8-foot, right?
Yeah, he's got to miss the 8-foot either.
Not
way,
likely, but
yeah.
Again, what do you do? Looks like Mike's going to be going to the other side based on this.
Yeah. And that may be just a matter of preference. I think me as a club level curler, like I like the left-hand side because I've got a little bit of backing here, but I think he trusts his way, trusts the sweepers to get him in the right spot here. You need every edge you get, every little bit of real estate you can get here.
Oh, I think they are actually going behind that corner. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you don't fully bury this. Just bury a third to a half, leave a little piece peeking out.
Yeah, and with Korey with one of the wings here, I mean, I can just definitely try to pick it out. Or actually, yeah, with them.
I very much doubt Korey's going to try to hit this. I think he'll just draw.
Yeah.
Unless it's completely open. Yeah, no, that's half buried. You can't go after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to get within a couple inches of the 8-foot and you win. And I think Korey's been sizing up making that shot for most of this end.
Yeah, I'm sure going into the end, he knows he just has in mind which side he wants to play and draw the 4-foot.
Right at the end of the game, we got Dropkin the Elder checking in. Good to see you, Keith. Please, we got the chance to call the game. So, final stone 8th end. For a spot in the C finals here. Korey Dropkin just needs to find the 8-foot.
Sweeper's working it.
That looks pretty good to me.
Yeah. On-off's a great sign here. From a great player like Korey. Not much of a doubt. Handshakes are already up here.
Yeah, there you go. And just for good effect, drops it right in the middle of the pin.
Right on the lid. Look at that.
Mr. Show-Off. But nice, very, very nice game by the Dropkin team. Really impressed with those guys. Pick up a big win over Mike McEwen, and they're going to advance to one of the 2C qualifier matches against Reed Carruthers this afternoon at 2 p.m. Central. I'm sorry, 2 p.m. Mountain Time. And, Mark, once again, thanks for joining me in the commentary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good to have you along. Good times. It was a fun game. And so we will be back at 2 p.m. Mountain Time at the C Finals. For Sean Murray, Mark and Go, Jerry Gertz in the production background. We will see you then from Leduc.